What is happening, y'all? Welcome on back to the final part of the walkthrough for Demons Souls. So if you have been following along up until now, you should only be missing a couple of trophies. So real fast, we're going to go through and talk about what is still left. Now most of these are just going to be boss trophies. You should have gotten all this stuff already. Help a player vanquish a boss. That is the co-op trophy, kind of obvious. We have the 1 PvP trophy. All the special ones we should have already gotten. So killing the Tower Knight without hitting the archers, fighting the Penetrator with Bjor, killing Dragon God with the fists, the roll tricks, only attacking the proper Fool's Idol, kill the Adjudicator staying up top, killing Maiden Astrea without killing Garl. This is going to be a final game trophy, but Sage Freak, Sane or Bane, we did the Makoto to Satsuki quest, we did the Searing Demon Soul, we got Istareli, we got Yuri the Witch, and we're about to get you the Galia. Now, the three that are left are the Sages, Saints Trophy, and King of Rings. Now for the Saints Trophy, if you just buy off everything Urbane has, that should bring you to 11 out of 12. The final one I'm missing is the one that you need 3 colorless Demon Souls for. I wanted to upgrade my shield this playthrough, but that would have wrapped up that trophy. Now, as for King of Rings, we are missing 2 rings at this point if we've come this far, and those are what I'm going to guide you to next. We also have the Sages Trophy, but I mean, that's the same as the Saints. You just have to get all the magic spells. I'd actually suggest doing it on a magic character, because magic is pretty fun in this game. Now, for the final 2 rings, we need 2 items in particular, one being a rare drop and one being an ultra rare drop. So we are going to go and put on our Providential Ring, and we're going to go to Tunnel City. We farmed the first one. And the very first thing we need is a coin. Now the coins can drop from any of the fat dudes. I find this one to be the easiest to farm, and I'll show you why. But we're going to be able to run right down to the guy over here. We're going to lower the elevator and then use this as a like kill and suicide type technique. So now I'm not going to actually farm this guy all the way until he drops it. That would take who knows how long. Oh no, please don't. Stop this. But so just keep killing this guy, and what we're gonna actually do is turn the elevator and get off. And we'll wait for this to go a little bit until it's at a lethal. Now you can kill any of the fat officials, it doesn't have to be that fat official in particular, but because we have this drop right here, I find this to be one of the easier ones to farm to get the coin that you need. Now, in particular, the item is called a gold coin, and it's considered a rare drop. So things that'll help with that. Obviously, we are close to black here. The darker the world tendency, the better the loot drops are going to be. Beyond that, the item ring. If you have the large sword of searching, that will help as well. I just straight knocked his ass through the world. But anyway, that's it. You just got to kill this guy until you get the gold coin. Now, beyond him, the next one we need to kill is back at the Shrine of Storms, and that is for the pure Bladestone. Now, unfortunately, players that ordered the deluxe get a slight pay to win here. Because if you have the deluxe edition, you already have the health ring, the ring that increases your vitality. If you don't have the deluxe edition, instead, you need to hop over to the ritual path, and you need to farm the dual-wielding katana black skeletons to get a pure Bladestone. Now, the pure Bladestone is one of the rarer items in the game. They did increase the drop rate a bit in the remake. But there are 2 skeletons in particular. One is behind the hidden door to the left of the Reaper, and the other is right here. Now this one's obviously a lot faster to run up to, so this is the one I suggest farming. The pure Bladestone is confirmed to drop off either of them, but this guy you can just kill and then roll straight down, go here, and reset the world. But you're going to need to farm both of these enemies until you have the pure Bladestone and the gold coin, and then once you have them, you're going to go and trade with Snuggly the Crow, who we've been to before. He is back in Island's Path here, just to show where we go for Snuggly real fast to run on over there. want this. Make the left here. We go up. And then we go through this little drop down. Kill the one skeleton here. And we just run up the stairs. And right past this guy outside. This is where, oh, not Snuggly, excuse me, Sparkly. Forgot they changed his name slightly. So, anyway. It's a pain in the ass, but farming those is the only way to get those final 2 rings that you're going to need for your platinum trophy. Now, assuming you have those rings, obviously we need to do New Game Plus to gain access to the rest of the spells, especially with stuff like the Dragon God and Maiden Estrella, where there are multiple spells that you can get. This is also why I suggest you do this on multiple characters, because you could have, you know, on this character I focused on getting the miracles. On a mage character I'll focus on just getting the spells. That way I don't need to do New Game Plus 3 to get everything that's necessary, since there is quite a bit that you could get, you know, trying to get the weapon and all 3 spells off of Maiden Estrella's Soul, for example. I mean, that's you know, New Game Plus 3 alone. But so, assuming that is all set, and assuming that you are done leveling up, we are now going to kill Allant and wrap up the game. So, last call to level up. And I can't stress this enough, because you're going to have a ton of souls after you fight Allant. And probably even more importantly is, after you kill Allant, you need to make it all the way past the Phalanx without losing your souls on New Game Plus. But if you're ready, the King's Ward we go. King's Tower, excuse me. Which I should probably... Do I have any, I don't. I should probably get some. Well, I need to have my humanity restored, so maybe we'll be able to find a world to invade. This will probably go very poorly, to be honest, but we'll see. Which this is typically what I do when I'm out of eyes. I just invade people. Which is messed up, but, you know. Oh man, this poor guy looks like he's gonna die. I'm not even gonna need to do anything. He's almost dead. I'm gonna die before I even get over to him. Beautiful. Poor guy. But it works for me, because now I have a full health bar. So, in terms of invading in health bars, anytime that you invade somebody and you're successful, you get your health bar back. And anytime that you are a blue and you help somebody kill a boss, you get your health bar back. So those are the 2 invasion conditions. Which is great, because, you know, you're able to, like, run into the world like I just was, and then just get it back. Pull this guy outside before he ends up bopping me. Oh my goodness. Alright, I don't know why this one night is so spicy all of a sudden, but we're gonna... Because I think I'm on pure black world tendency. Yeah, I'm calm, that's why. Gotta be careful on pure black, man. Can't mess around with these guys. Oh, in fact, just in case, we're gonna put this on. Okay. That. As for the archers, you can kill them if you want. These guys will actually, they're pretty accurate, and they'll keep shooting all the way until you're up to the top. Oh my goodness, Mr. Claymore, okay. Your black ain't no joke. Where was I? Okay, going back up. So while we're on the way, let's discuss Old King Allant, which is who we're going to be fighting here. Now there are a couple of key attacks to look out for. He has a dash attack that will have a delayed strike on it. So what I mean by this is he'll like dash up to you and then he'll attack a second later. So it almost bamboozles you because if you dodge too early, the delayed attack is what'll hit you. Beyond that, he has a lot of his attacks actually have waves that extend off of them that'll travel along the ground. Pretty easy to dodge those. He has a very large AoE that when he does it, I'd suggest literally running across the entire level to avoid it. And besides that, and perhaps the most important thing to look out for, is Soul Sucker. Now he has this move where it's very slow with a lot of build-up, and it's kind of impossible to miss it. But he will charge at you with his hand, and if he grabs you, he is going to suck your souls away and de-level your character. So technically it's the closest thing to a respec this game has, because back in the day players would de-level their characters on Allant until they were nice and low, and then refarm the souls, and anyway, it's a pain in the ass. Also, before we do this, make sure you have at least one Arcstone shard. We're not going to need it for this fight, but we're going to need it right afterwards. Which, if you bought them when I told you to, you should still have one. But we're going to put on our buff. We're going to put on our buff. And we're going to enter the fog. And this fight is very much about just kind of waiting for your opportunity. He is capable of doing a lot of damage. Kind of how I said he will, he'll send waves off. That's what I'm talking about right there. That is Soul Sucker. Just roll away. I want to show the large AoE. It's not doing it. Okay, here it is. So when you see that, literally run away. Other side of the room. The AoE is even bigger than the animation looks. We're doing it again. That was enough of that. We're not going to let him spam it all day. So anyway, beat him on down, and that's the final demon. $105,000 souls. Got a hefty little boost there being on black.
How did you defeat my demonic reflection?
Oh, did not mean to come here. Went too fast. So anyway, now we can go back to the Nexus. And the reason that I said do anything you wanted before this is now that we have killed Allant, this cutscene is going to trigger. The Maiden is going to basically take us down below the Nexus. And even talking to her, we can't level up with her anymore. So she's going to pull us down to the Old One's lair. And then we go on ahead and we kill the true King Allant. One last boss fight. Let me check what's my item burden at. I'll make sure my item burden isn't too bad. Send some stuff to storage. There's a piece of goodie we're gonna need to pick up. Send that back for now. That back, and that should be good.
You have been chosen by the Old One.
Let's roll through stuff.
Seek the everlasting demon souls.
You don't need to buff up for this, but we're just gonna smash it even faster.
You have seen the pain and suffering that fills this world.
So this is the true King Allant.
So created the Old One.
This is what happens when he just gobbles souls endlessly forever.
And put an end to this tragedy. You fool! Don't you understand?
Anyway, boop him on down.
Go on.
And now that he is booped, remove the sword. And a soul brand. And now that we have that, use your Arcstone to warp out of here. Now the reason we're doing this right now is it will give us access to... watch out, this is a big ass hole now, so just be careful. That hole's gotten me more than a few times.
I was worried sick.
Go over to... Pull Demon Brand out.
We are indebted.
So, to just show off both of those, you have Demon Brand and Soul Brand. Demon Brand is like your pure white sword. Soul Brand is your pure black sword. What's interesting is that your attack power with this only works when you're pure black character tendency, whereas this one works when you're pure white character tendency. So notice how my attack power is 0 versus 279. But with both of them and the soul that we got from Allant, we can fuse them together and we can make Northern Regalia, which has the bonus regardless of if you are at pure white or pure black character tendency, in addition to getting the trophy for it. And warping on out after that fight and doing it now allows us to get it done before we even make our way to Flame Lurker on New Game Plus. The upgrade, Northern Regalia, and now we have it. The fusion of both swords. If you've ever been curious about doing a very tanky build, this is actually designed for what we would consider to be bit builds. It's a very, very powerful sword. Get off the elevator here and we'll take a better look at it since it's kind of like the iconic weapon of the game. But you just need 12 and 12 in Faith and Magic, 14 Dex, 20 Strength. There's no scaling whatsoever on it, but the sword just has a flat damage based. I mean, obviously I don't have I haven't met the magic requirement for it, but the sword has a flat damage as long as you are at pure white or pure black character tendency, in addition to a split damage between physical and magic. Has the same moveset as the Claymore or the Bastard Sword. Has this cool blue flashy effect where it melts stuff. And because the sword doesn't have any scaling on it, we just need to hit those stat thresholds, and then we don't need to worry about anything else. So you can take your vitality super freaking high. You get your endurance up to 40. You can load up on spells or whatever you'd like. So very interesting build, very frequently used in PvP, especially just because of how much damage it'll do, being able to cut through and do those magic defenses. But with that, go ahead and touch this Arcstone to descend back below into the Nexus. And then now we're going to go here. We are given two options. Either we can attack the Maiden, or we can choose to leave. Now the bad ending involves attacking the Maiden. You're going to get the Great Beast Soul, basically the Old One Soul. And that's going to... Well, technically it's not the Old One Soul, but anyway, you're going to get a soul worth... I want to say it's 100,000 souls. But if it's your first playthrough, you're going to want to leave, go through the fog, and that is going to trigger the ending cutscene. And the main reason we want to do this is we are going to get her soul which is used for a spell that we're going to need working towards the trophy. So if you're playing on a character that's not going to use magic, that's strictly using faith or strength type stuff, feel free to just smash her right there, and then you'll have a nice hefty little chunk of souls waiting for you when you get into New Game Plus. But otherwise, that wraps up everything for Demons Souls. Now, before we close out the series, I do want to discuss the Penetrator armor, which we did not get, because I've had a lot of people obviously making comments about it, and it was the hottest item being talked about by the community for quite some time. Now, this game has something called Fractured World. What happens is when we enter the Fractured World, everything is going to be reversed. So, just as an example, now that we're in the Fractured World, you'll notice over here, this is Boletaria. Over here, this is the swamp. You notice all of our merchants have moved. You even notice that even when I hit R1, my character is swinging with his left hand now, so it reverses everything, which can be a little bit confusing, needless to say. While on Fractured World, and only on Fractured World, you can find 10 coins per playthrough. These coins are hidden in very obscure locations, like in boxes and pots and whatnot. You can find 5 on pure white tendency, and you can find 5 coins on pure black tendency. So to get the Penetrator armor, you have to go through the game, get your black and white coins, go to New Game Plus, get your black and white coins, go to New Game Plus again and get 6 more coins, and then trade 26 coins to Sparkly the Crow, and he will give you a key. And after you have the key, you can then go to that door that is in the same level as the Penetrator, open it on up, and you can get access to the Penetrator armor. Now, obviously, I did not cover that in this series, mainly because of the fact that, as I just mentioned, that requires you to go through the game 2.5 times. Honestly, I probably won't be making a guide for that myself. I wasn't involved in the hunt for it. Plenty of people were, and they're already putting up videos on it, and I don't feel it would be right for me to put up a guide specifying where to find that specific armor set when tons and tons of people spent all their time hunting while I spent my time working on a guided series for the game. So I'm sure there's going to be plenty of videos out there that'll show how to get that specific armor, but because of how in-depth it is to actually get that armor, it's basically something for completionists only. There's no trophy or what have you for getting the armor. It's just kind of something fun that Bluepoint designed for the community and the people that really want to dig deep and go for it. So either way, that is going to wrap things up for me. Thanks again for tuning on in. Hopefully this helps you get through Demon Souls. Personally, I feel this is one of the easier of the Souls games, if not the easiest, mainly because the AI is kind of derpy, and a lot of enemies we can abuse pretty easily, as you saw. But regardless, your first Souls game is always the hardest, so if you struggle with this, don't feel bad at all. I mean, at the end of the day, any Souls game is a Souls game. So thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I will catch you all next time with a new series altogether.